um, you know.
So they just kill people in a different way. That's
Well,
all.
it's action and comedy in a sense.
Yeah.
It was just so fly to me. You know, I just love all the one called that. It's called video cinematography. How they just done it
The
all
way they put it together,
I
yeah,
just love
that's
it.
what's always cool.
I enjoyed it. It just was a nice, a good movie. It was what you call a movie.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
okay.
Yeah.
So 3 thumbs up for John Wick 4.
Hell yeah.
Y'all need to go check it out. Y'all catch it when it comes
Absolutely.
around. When I don't have to leave this motherfucker. I don't need the big ass screen.
They got a movie, man, that's kind of like that, but it's I think they're in the West or something like that, Germany or something.
What, another like John Wick type
Yeah,
thing?
like they're in the West, but they're in Germany, or they're in the West, somewhere like Finland or somewhere. It's somewhere different like that. That shit look violent,
Could have
man.
been like back in
I
the
think I'm
80s,
about to
West
check that
Germany
out.
and shit.
I think I'm about to check that out. That looks really violent.
Oh, that was the preview?
Yeah, it's called
Yeah.
CCSI.
CCSI.
Yeah, man. I think it's gonna be out the
It
table.
was West
Violent
Germany?
Western. Yeah, Western. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
it's in a Western
yes,
style.
man.
Oh,
Yes,
shit. I didn't know they had that
yes,
shit over there.
yes.
You know?
It look good. I mean, it looked like it's gonna be really violent. You know
But it's
what
La
I
La
mean?
Land.
But it ain't that. But it ain't happening like just for the sake of happening. Like it looks like it's gonna be a pretty good movie. You know what I mean? But it's gonna be very violent. I was like, oh, I might like this.
I guess what better place to put that on the preview? You get watch some violence now anyway.
Oh man.
I remember Amy, we went on my birthday last year to go see, not last year, a couple of years ago to see Wick 3.
Yeah, man.
She come out of like, all it was him killing people. I said, that's John Wick.
John Wick.
That's all he do is kill people.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So she's not into that. She only came with me because, she just figured, I'll go watch it.
That's what's up. How'd you like it?
I mean, it was cool. John Wick killing motherfuckers.
That's what's up.
Bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
I think it's fucked up what he's into, but that's what he got to live with. So hey,
Los, without spoiling it, they explore that even more.
They talk about it even more.
Even
yeah, they
more.
Have
you know what I mean?
Like
that point you talking about, they going through it even more.
Like, you got to talk about this more. I guess it still all breaks down to, but you knew the deal either way. Rules are rules. You knew that we don't change our shit. Now,
that's true. That's true.
Like, that's how they say
that's true. But
we don't change our shit, man. Sorry.
I'm gonna wait till you watch it. Wait till you watch
I'll
it.
Watch it. See what's up. What we got? What's up, Dwight? Hey, I got the 3D on today.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
This is good for what we're talking about today, anyway.
Absolutely,
struggle.
Man.
So you make the right decision. You may not have to struggle.
There it is. You know.
So hey, I'm building my own brain, brother. I told you I got Juan, Pedro, and Jose, Luis. They all in there. You know what I'm saying? Went over there to Home Depot, grabbed a few of this, put them in my head, and they working on my brain. They gonna get it together. Right. What's up, Mama? She out there with us too. Who else out there with us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let us know who you are. Don't be scared. I mean, just say hi. Absolutely. So I'm gonna have to go check that out. I said I don't need to go to the theater. I don't care how big the screen is.
No, that's
space movie maybe, but not just some.
Like. Right, I feel you. If you wait about another week or two, it'll be on like on Fire Stick. Get on Fire Stick.
On Paramount Plus or some shit.
It will. But hey man, it was a really good movie, man. It was a really good movie, man. For real. It really was. Man, what was killing? Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Keanu Reeves spent so much time just training with the guns. The way he was reloading, I was losing my mind. I was like, damn.
Click on it. So
yes, man. Yes, man. I was just looking at the reload factor. I was like, woo.
What's up, Chivas?
That man has spent so much. What's up, Chivas? What's up, man? What's happening, brother? What's happening to you? Absolutely. Thank you for watching, brother.
Thank you so much.
Oh man, we got these brothers in the house with us tonight.
Yeah, they want to know about the struggle shit.
Hell yeah, let's talk about it.
That's why I got this on today. Decisions will determine whether you make a struggle or not.
Yeah, man. You want to go and give a shout out to our sponsors or what have you, man? Because we got to show them love. We can't forget about them. You know what I mean? So, but thank y'all so much for coming in tonight. And we're going to have just a real good conversation.
Remember you broke down and touched my body like it's real low.
For real? All right, well, let's start it up then. We got Bangin' 832 Radio.
Bangin'.
www.bangin832.com. Check out the past episodes of the Daily Smoke every Sunday at 7 p.m., all right? And Bangin' 832, keep doing what you're doing, supporting hometown talent. We appreciate you so much keeping it real. You know, it's our sound. So thank you so much for being on our side. We appreciate y'all for everything that you do to us, you know, the community, etc. So thank you so much. And then next up, we got Tamia's Touch of Care Massage Therapy. To get with life, get a massage.
Prince style. Oh, touch my body. Hey. That's my Prince version.
Tamia's Touch of Care Massage Therapy. www.tamiaanderson.com. As young lady she's a good former veteran. Stop it. You know, veteran. Thank you, love. Thank you so much for believing in us. I don't know why, but thank you for believing in us. Thank you for believing in us. We really do appreciate you.
We want
For
people
real.
to go check her out.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Yes, boy. Hold on one second, man. You take the camera back, Bob. What made you do that?
Just trying to change it up. Got a good buzz going. I figured I'd change it up a little bit. You know, that's why. My Prince first. Oh, it's my body. I'm in Minneapolis today. Yeah, that's right. Too bad I had Bobby back there with a guitar. Jiggy, 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 look at ding. You know?
My back.
You know? Do you want your back rubbed?
Oh man, we're gonna blow this show. All right, so next up we got Buy Black Market, the ultimate Buy Black Marketplace experience, the ultimate pop-up experience, calling all vendors, artists, authors, and black-owned businesses. Free and open to the public every first and third Saturday of each week. So please come out and support us, all right? Because we need to keep the money within the community because it goes high interest, you know. So absolutely, and just support the people that are trying to make it like you are. They next door to you. Support yours. You know what I mean?
Go make your own money too.
Go do yoga classes, free yoga classes. Go take African history classes, free African history classes. You all let you get in shape and learn something.
You know,
and you ain't got no student debt.
But get your grub on too.
You know what I mean? So absolutely, man. Yeah, take advantage of education opportunities. They have 5309 MLK Boulevard, right here in Houston, Texas. All right, and if you don't want to go there and, let's say, buy something, perhaps you sell something. So go ahead and, go down there, become a vendor, and then that way you can sell whatever it is that you make, and that way the people that benefit from whatever it is you make are the people that look like you and live next to you. Right, you're keeping it in the community, okay? So please check them out. Buy Black Marketplace, Shrine of Black down every first and third Saturday of each week.
Right next to Joyce's Chicken.
Right next to Joyce's Chicken. Next up, we got Puff Passes, CBD, and more. 4130 and a half Cavalcade, Houston, Texas, 77026. Check them out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Yelp, and their their website is www.puffpassit20.wixsite.com. So check them out, man. If you don't want to go to their website, they're on Yelp. You can send them an email, puffpassit20@gmail.com, or you can call Tanya Ashley at 713-766-6631. And she will be on our show in a couple of weeks as well, man. We've been trying to get her on the show.
And let's go check out what she
does. Absolutely.
She does so many different. I wonder if they started them bike rides. We're going to do bike rides.
They probably did.
They were going to do salsa dancing or dance classes.
That would have been awesome. They sure were having class. That's right.
You can rent the place out. You can rent the whole place out and have your own party with just your people. She allow you to do that. Yeah. She got the bomb margaritas back there in the back.
Yeah, man. They good. They good.
And the caramels.
She make you feel comfortable, man. You'll be at home. You will be at home. So thank you so much for everything that you do for us, Tanya, and we can't wait to have you on the show. Puff Passes, CBD, and more. And then lastly, appreciate you. Last but not least, thedailysmoke.com. Come check us out. www.thedailysmoke.com. the THADailySmoke.com, where you can check out all of the episodes that we have coming up. And speaking of which, we have all of the shows of everything we're going to be talking about over, I believe, the next 3 or 4 weeks. So if you want to know what we're going to be doing and talking about 2 weeks from now, guess what? Go to the website. You'll see.
Right.
And you can also see what we're talking about. And if it's something that's foreign to you, you got time to learn about it, and then come holler at us about it. Let's have a conversation.
Right.
Or maybe you already know, and maybe we can learn. You know what I mean? So go to the website, check us out at thedailysmoke.com, and you'll see all of our upcoming episodes. Also,
I see 9 in here and only 4 likes. What's up?
Really?
Like. I need you to hit that
man.
like and share. Come on now.
We're thankful for the 9 that we have. We wish it could be more. We wish people found it interesting that, where it could be more, but, we'll keep pressing on. So thank the 9 of you that are with us tonight. Thank you so much. We do appreciate you. We really do. Absolutely. We appreciate that. We really do. We will grow.
Every time.
Yeah, every time you watch.
Don't take but a second. As soon as you turn it on, click.
Really? Thank you so much. We appreciate
it.
Sometimes. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Thank you. So, let's go ahead and go into it, yeah?
Yeah, might as well. That's what they're here for.
All right.
Those that are still with us.
Let me just say this. This is going to be the ground rule. Everything that you know to be true in your life about yourself, be honest with that part.
Right.
Be honest. Come to the conversation with that honest part of you, Because if you would look at all of the main moments in your life that defined you as a person, that helped you become more and more of the person that you are today, I guarantee you that was during confrontational situations.
That's when you learn to change yourself.
That's when you learn about yourself. Mm-hmm. See, we think about struggle like, man, like in these terms. Man, I wish I could hit the lottery. I ain't got to struggle no more. I ain't got to work no more. You know what I mean? Everything's good now. Money. I ain't got to think for myself no more. I ain't got to worry about certain stuff. Financially, I'm set. Whatever. Okay. But for the rest of humanity, we have to deal with this reality of struggle. Mm-hmm. But we try to avoid it. But that's the very thing that makes us who we are. Right. So when I say, as we're having this conversation, let's just make sure we're always honest about what we're saying. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? All right. Now, let me ask you a question, brother. When somebody says you learned a lot about yourself, was that an experience that you had where you like learned something about yourself where when struggle is on the table, I know I'll come out on top. I know I'll get through this situation. You know what I mean? Like the threat is imminent.
Right.
But I know I'll get through this situation.
Right.
Did you learn about yourself in that situation?
I think I did somewhat to a certain point after all that shit, because my whole thought, like you said, was like, I'm not dying here today. I'm going to get out of this somehow. So, and see a dude more nervous than I was. I'm like, I'm good. I'm going to get out of this shit.
Can you give them context in terms of what happened?
No, what happened?
As best you can.
Yeah, no. So what happened? I had a roommate at the time, 2-bedroom house, but my daughter wasn't living with me at the time, so I rented it out to somebody I knew. But he would do music. They had this dude would come over and they were doing a CD and shit. And one day the dude texted, he wanted to come get some, come grab a 10, and dude had some. So he came over. So I opened the door. He got AR-15. I'm thinking it was around Halloween too. So I'm thinking when he pulled that shit out, I said, "You know what's up?" I'm thinking, man, if this is some Halloween joke, as soon as he starts laughing, I'm gonna bust his teeth out his mouth. Man. You don't come in my house with a fucking AR-16 pointing it at me. You know, so I'm watching him, and he throws me some tape to tie my girlfriend up. I barely tied her ass up. You know, just put it on her, try to let her know, like, look, you can get out of this. I didn't even put her around. He's not paying attention. You know, and then told me to lay down. I'm like, dude, if I'm laying down, how you gonna get what you want? What you want? Because you gonna give it to you. Gonna tell me where it's at. So I'm not telling you shit, man. Just get down. So he tied my feet, tied my hands, and as soon as he went around to go to the room where he knew my roommate was at, he was in there doing some music. He went in there. That's when I got up, got out. My first thought was, I'm getting a butcher knife, and as he tied my boy up, I'm coming right here. Get him done. You know, that's another thing that it taught me, though, because in that situation, during that time, thinking about it now, it made me think real violently. I wanted to hurt this motherfucker. Me being so trustworthy of you, you come to my house trying to steal from me. Oh no, bro, you got to go. You know, so that I did learn that about myself. Like when it comes to a situation like that, oh, I'm gonna get more violent than what you're getting with me right now. I didn't realize that until then. But yeah, so then we struggled for a while. You know, finally, I was able to get him on. He fell onto the bed, and the handle of the AR got him right here, and I was laying on him. He couldn't breathe. And he's telling me I can't breathe. I said, dude, either you let go of this gun, let me see your hands, or I'm gonna wait to your last breath. I'm gonna come up to your face and suck it away from you and watch you die. And he finally let go, you know, and I was able to get it out, walk him out to the crib, and he took off running. Cops, by that time, the cops were coming around the corner. What I always thought about that then too is I had the AR at the time. Dude jumping off the porch running. The cops, you know, hey, put that down. I put it down, and then they run after him. It could have been me. I could have grabbed the AR and took off, and they would have never known. They would have went when they caught dude. They were like, "Yo, I'm the dude who lives there." You know, I was like, "Stupid mugs." You know, they at the time I knew why. A brother running, light skinned dude here. It must be the bad guy. So you know, at the time, so, yeah,
that's true.
That's exactly what it was, because they come around the corner and they saw me holding this gun. The dude was running off the porch, and they pointed their guns at me and everything. Like, "Yo, put that down." And I put it down, and I did like this, and they took off running. Yeah, if they had seen him, so that was my thought. If the roles were reversed, because when they took off running, I'm thinking,
you got shot.
I thought to myself, I saw them running. I'm like, if I was the dude robbing, I could just grab my gun, walk down the porch, get in my ride, and go. And they'd never know anything is there till they caught up with the motherfucker. And he'd be like, "Nah, nigga, it was that motherfucker."
Yeah, man.
You know, so yeah, but that shit was crazy. Like I said, it taught me that, because I used to think at the time, and going back to how my mind went violent, I knew where he lived, where his uncles and them lived. I wanted to go board their house up, light it on fire, and watch them fucking die. That's how mad I was. I said, man, if I knew I'd go there, I'd sit up on the hillside, smoking me a square, hearing the screams and watching the house burn and shit. Like, that's what you get, motherfucker. You know, I was, we were hospitable to your ass. You could have just asked for something if you wanted it, you know. But at the time, there was a lot of shit going on. My roommate was a show off, so dude knew, he wanted all the equipment. That's what he said, he wanted all the equipment. Later on, we listened to the tape they made. The motherfucker was singing about the shit.
Really?
He was singing about how he was going to try to jack us and shit, and he's not going back to jail, so he's either take me out. And I'm telling my boy, did you not listen to what he was saying, man? He was talking about what he just did here. So he took off running like a little punk and shit. Yeah.
Have been for a long time.
But he wanted all the equipment he had because he wanted to hurry up. It was taking too long to make his little CD because he had to wait till dude got home from work, come by later. He wanted to do that shit now. Had a whole suitcase and everything ready to take shit out the house. I'm like, man, I thought to myself, they're not going to tell my daughter that I died in front of my fucking refrigerator over this motherfucker.
That's real.
So I made sure I'm getting out of this. Once I saw how he was, I'm like, dude is more nervous than I am. There was one point where he was like this, and I was going to run right at him, but I would have had to go around my table. That would have given him enough time to shoot me. But had it been straight on, because he kept doing like this, I said, man, if this table wasn't in the way, I would just bum rush his ass and grab him. And that's what I did when he was on my boy. I didn't grab the knife because I thought, damn, dude's going to see me. He's going to come back around, see me up. He's going to shoot me. So I hurried up and ran across, and he was tying my boy up, and I grabbed the gun in him and pulled him back. And my boy, like a little bitch, he took off.
He left you.
Man, I'm like, when I saw him, as soon as he come back, man, I punched him in his mouth. I said, dude, I had the dude. All you had to do was wail off on his ass. Bust. He would have let go of this fucking gun, because all I was worried about, the gun's pointing that way. As long as it's pointing that way, and he was gone. After that, it was like a 20-minute struggle, man. At the very end, when I said I got the gun from dude, I could barely hold it, man. It was like picking up my phone was like,
Yeah.
All my adrenaline was gone.
Done.
Man, I was so
You was
done.
done.
It was 20 minutes of back and forth. We even landed on the ground one time,
That's
got
a
right
long
back
time.
up. And then I remember seeing it, like, from my bedroom, I had my office, and there was a window there, and I thought, I'm just going to run this nigga right out this fucking window. Fuck it. Whatever happens, happens. As long as this gun is pointing that way, I'm good. Took off running. We, bam, hit the window, bounced back on the ground, got up. And all of a sudden, I saw yellow fire come out. I didn't hear the shot.
Oh, the muzzle flash.
All I saw was,
wow.
I still had it. I saw, but I didn't hear shit. I'm like, this nigga got blanks or something in here and shit? Because I didn't hear the shot. I just saw fire. I'm thinking, oh, what the fuck? Like, you know, but I said, you know, I'm not going to let go until I have control of this gun completely. Then, that's, you know, I'll figure out what to do from there. And then we just kept fighting till we landed on the bed, and that shit hit him there. And I remember I heard him, and I went up even higher. I put on his chest so that I was pushing down on him. And he was barely, I said, man, what the fuck's wrong? Man, I wasn't going to try to kill y'all, but now I'm going to have to. I'm like, motherfucker, I got control, man. What the fuck are you talking about? You know, what did you want, man? Whatever you needed, you knew we would have gave it to you or helped you find it. But you want to come in here robbing a motherfucker, you know, man, I can't breathe. I'm like, you either let go of this gun, I need to see your hands, or I'm going to tell you, man. I told him, I looked him down closer in his face. I said, man, I'm going to breathe your last breath before you die. Let go of the fucking gun. And he finally let go. And that's when I brought it around and grabbed him by his neck and shit. And then as we were walking out, he got out. I ended up with his coat in his hand and an AR in the other, and took off running.
He was lucky to shoot.
No, that's just it. You know, I didn't have the energy to pick that gun up. I was thinking to myself, man, if this dude knows that if he got more energy than me, he could whoop my ass right now because I have no, and I'm barely holding you like this. That's why you got away from me and shit.
Right.
You know, so yeah. So after that, man, I was angry as fuck, man. Like I said, I wanted to see his people die. I'll go to the jail and tell them, oh, yo, that shit that happened to your cousins and your uncles and aunts, I did that shit. Walk the fuck away and not give a damn about that shit. You know, that's how angry I was, man. Like shit, I couldn't sleep at night sometimes. Every little noise I'd hear, I'd be up. Somebody's in the crib. Grab my shit. My girlfriend said, yo, stop that shit. I'm like, no, I hear noises. My mind automatically, somebody's in the crib. Go find them. So you know, that told me that. I had to go see at work. I was falling asleep because I couldn't sleep at night. I had to go see some therapist dude that, you know, talk to him about that shit.
Wow.
It was pretty much, no, man, I was, like I said, I wanted to see that. I remember when we went to the court, we're at the court, sitting there, he's standing right there saying what he was saying. I'm like, y'all know this motherfucker lying real bad and shit, you know? And my thought was, you know what, if this dude moved forward a little bit, I'm gonna get your ass right here in court. Like they show their motherfuckers do that. He's lucky. I'm like, man, you lucky I can't get to you. Lying ass motherfucker. He's talking shit. I'm like, okay, whatever, man. In court. He's telling he's telling his story. I'm like, all of us were like, the fuck are you talking about? That's not what happened. I said, well, I know what happened. Everybody else here didn't know what's up. Y'all ran off and hid, and then when I had him, you took off. The one girl hid in the closet, and it's funny, like about a week later when we had to go to court, my roommate was going through trying to get some jeans. He was folded, and we saw like he found the jeans that were folded had holes in it. Until the last one, he found the slug.
Oh.
And then I moved all his clothes over, and there was a big ass hole in the wall right there. And the girl that said she was gonna hide in the closet, she got in the closet and said, I was gonna hide just like that. And I said, look, your head would have got blown the fuck off. So luckily you did jump out the window. Hell yeah, man, that was crazy, man. I was like, but I remember, that what happened is it went into the wall and it hit and it went down the hallway inside the wall and into the closet. That's where the shot went. And the other one just went out. So I'm like, man, that was crazy. Yeah, that made me that was a hell of a struggle. Not, struggling in life, but struggling for my life.
How did that? You ever had a situation like that before in your life? Before that incident?
Not like that.
Did you end up being a different person after that incident than before?
Not really, because I was already the same person I am now. I was already before that.
Did you learn anything new about yourself because of that situation?
No, I knew that I could get through some shit like that. If I put my mind to it, let my adrenaline work out, I'll get out of this shit. If I believe that I'm going to get out of this shit, I'm getting out of this shit.
That's what you did.
Hell yeah.
Right. That's what you did. So,
the reason... make it so bad, motherfucker was from Houston. He didn't know that I had somebody in Houston that found his mama and daddy's house.
Oh, man.
And we knew exactly where his mom and dad lived. That's why I said, man, Little Boots. He found dude here. He said, man, the dude, when we found out where he was from, Little Boots found his crib. He went to his crib. He said, man, I see his crib, man. It was right here. So if I was in my criminal-minded self, they'd have been done. They'd have been done. You know, that's how angry I was. But dude, that's what I think too. You didn't know me, man. You don't know that I know that you're from Houston and I have somebody watching your mama right now. And you want to do some stupid shit like that. Think before you act stupid.
You know what? Just to be fair, I feel where you're coming from. Like I think like based on what you're saying, I think we're kind of downplaying what you're saying without realizing what you really dealt with. What you're saying is like I remember when I was a kid, you know, our house got broken into a couple of times, and when that happened, I felt very insecure, you know, and I was very angry, and I'm still like a kid or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But what lesson I learned from that was like I found that anger coming from a place from where you actually came in here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I can only imagine, and that's them, you know, stealing and going, and you don't even see them or whatever. You just
Right.
come home and you know all your stuff.
You know the shit is gone.
You know, okay, all right. So
fucked
now you're
up.
dealing with all these emotions. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like in your situation, the conflict is here. It's that feeling on steroids.
Right,
You know what I mean?
Pretty much so.
Because your life right now,
Mm-hmm.
this is the test. So that's why when I asked the question, did you learn or experience anything new about yourself after that situation? Like it's like when you do something, you're like, damn, I didn't know I was capable of that.
Right. That's how I was thinking. You know,
so
like,
then you
man,
learn something new about
It's
yourself.
like, man, I didn't know I would be able to get out of that shit. But at the time, I knew I was going to get out of that shit.
Oh, you had to have your mind made up.
I knew it.
Absolutely.
Knew it right away.
Absolutely. You
Like
had to have your mind made up.
Dude, I'm like,
Absolutely.
I'm like, this motherfucker. I want to say at one time when I was down, he was tying my feet. The gun fell off his lap. I heard like, and I looked. I'm like, man, I saw that right away. I said, oh, that's why I said, man, I just run up on his ass right quick. Yeah. He might drop this bitch, but because I had to go around the table, they gave him enough time to pull that trigger. That shit was loaded, had a full clip in that motherfucker. He shot 2 off into the wall. Yeah, but that made me angry. What made me even more angry is you've been in my crib before, man. I fed your ass. I've given you money because you were broke and shit. You knew that we would have gave you something if you needed, but you want to come in here and take our shit for yourself because you're so impatient. Like, you know what? That to me, that's when I say, you know, I'm real trusting with people. You only got one time. I don't give second, third, fourth times. One time. You steal from me after I'm so hospitable to you, you don't exist anymore. Disappear. I don't even know. Somebody asks me who, I'm going to be like, who? I don't remember that motherfucker. I don't know who they is. You don't fuck with me like that. You know, that or my kids. Don't fuck with my kids. I will take your body in a bag to the fucking police. That's the motherfucker right there. I found
it. My dad, like he's my, I guess you would say my father. Dad at Avery is what we call him. I owe a lot in my life to him, and he would always drop these gems on me, and there was a time where I was very angry about something very similar to what you're talking about. Oh, somebody's calling in. Oh, okay, that's what's up.
Hey, what's up, mama?
Hey, sweetie, how are you?
That's good right there, Bob. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for calling.
Oh, you're welcome. Look, I don't think that correct me if I'm wrong. Ron's question was, what would you do in the middle of a struggle, and did you learn anything from it, or did you realize that you would have reacted the same? Is that what his question was?
In so many ways, the question was like, what did you learn about yourself after being in that situation that you didn't know about yourself before? Meaning, you're having to fight yourself out of this situation where I could possibly die. My next question was like, had you ever had any situations like that before? He said no. So I'm like, okay, so this must have been a new experience.
Right.
What did you learn about yourself in a situation to plan on that level that you hadn't had before because you never were in this experience ever to begin with?
Right.
That was the question.
Right.
Oh, okay. Then my response to that is that you never know at any given moment under duress how you're going to respond. You just don't know. you know what you might do, you know what you tell yourself you will do, but when you actually are put in that type of a position, normally you don't react the way you had pre-planned. And so, especially if it's a matter, like in those cases, it's a matter of life and death, or especially if it's something tragic, like, and Ron's absolutely right when they broke into our house, and then to think of the violations that they had done. Um, for me, I have anger management issues anyway, so it wouldn't take too much of me to set me off. But the mere fact that they knew we were home and that they came into our house anyway, they saw the cars and they broke in and came in anyway. And when they came in, and one of them ended up, well, in one incident, he was at the edge of my bed. And when I realized what was happening, and I came to myself and I snapped, what I usually have is a bat. And I went for the bat. I went to get Ron, and I went to get the bat because but by then he was gone. And I told the Lord, I said, I'm really glad that he got out of here when he did, because I had this old wooden bat and things like that, like I said, by myself. And I would have had brains all over my kitchen because I went blank. And when you go blank, those you got people like me. When you go blank and you come to yourself, you realize the damage that has been done. And then here I would have been, probably have killed that boy, in self-defense. He was in my house, but you try to mitigate the situation as best as possible, because you think about what's going to happen, what the consequences are going to be. So those moments of traumatization, if that makes any sense, and then you ask yourself, is it worth it or not, or was it worth it or not, So yeah, I understand exactly what Lo's saying, and I'm really enjoying that. Cause I just have one comment though. I need y'all to talk directly into the mic. When y'all turn to the side and look at each other, y'all voice fades out, so I can't hear you that well. And I love the graphics in the back. You see, the picture is very, very clear, you guys. I mean, you guys are really doing a remarkable job with your presentation. So that's all I wanted. Goodbye.
Thank you
so much.
for calling. Mama said she was about to Jackie Robinson a motherfucker.
Right. Out of here.
I feel it though. It's like, you know what? Come in my shit trying to take from me, motherfuckers. Like, damn.
But what really got you was, you said, okay, not only are you getting robbed, but I know you.
Right.
So
that's
now
why I thought it was a joke when he first walked in the door. When he
You know
came
what I
around
mean?
like this, I went to grab it. Oh, check
Yeah.
it. Let me check it out. That's when he pulled back. You know what's up? I'm like, yo, what's up, man? What's up? Stop fucking around. And threw the tape at me. Tie that bitch up. I'm like, okay, let me play along. If he starts laughing like, some kind of trick or treat type stupid shit, because it was around Halloween.
Yeah.
I said, I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna bust his head open. Man, don't joke like that.
Yeah.
You got me over here already thinking to myself, okay, this motherfucker, if he's serious, what am I gonna do now? But there is no pre-plan. I never thought a motherfucker would come in my house with an AR-15 trying to rob me and shit. That was just right at the moment.
Right.
Observing everything. That's when I realized this motherfucker's more nervous than me.
You responded to the moment.
Right. Because once I saw that I'm like, man, he's more nervous than I am.
Right.
Okay, I got this. I'm not dying here today.
Right.
All that. It's like, okay.
Right.
And once and like I said, when I got out the tape, I don't even remember busting the tape. It was just, I still had a chunk on my one leg.
Oh.
It just, man, like I said, I don't even remember.
You were in hook mode up in here.
My first thought was the knives, but then I thought, oh shit, he's coming back around. He sees me. I'm telling you, I started to all green and rip my shit off. I went around, and that's when I got him. But my roommate, though, he was a punk, man. I mean, it's like I had to do like this. I had the gun with him in between me, and I pulled him back, and that's like you right here. What are you gonna do? Man, start punching that motherfucker in the mouth, in the face, kick him in the nuts. He's gonna let go of this or get the shit beat out of him. Yeah, he took off running. I'm like, damn. He was so scared, he ran down to the one corner store. It was Kogo's, it's called, and went to go to call 911 on the phone. His thought wasn't, oh man, I got change. He ran down to a whole nother store to see if he can find some change, and the whole time it's like somebody had told him, no, honey, 911 is free. You don't need to put a quarter in it to call 911. That's how nervous and scared he was. He went to a few different places trying to call 911. It's like 911, you just pick up the phone and dial. It'll ring, goddamn. Yeah, so I'm like, man, we could have had this. This could have been over in 3 minutes. Because as soon as I grabbed him, he would have got fucked up. We called the police and thrown the fuck out. He had his boys waiting in a car, like outside, the lights down. Because the girl who jumped out the window, she saw that. She said she went to a few cribs knocking to help. Nobody answered. Finally, somebody answered. They called the police. The motherfucker was so stupid. He ran around the building that I lived in. Different. Yeah, no, he ran around the building, came back around the back. The cops chasing him. When he came out on this side of the building, he jumped out the bushes and boom, right into the police car. And they were right there waiting for his head.
Give him enough rope.
You know, and then that's when they said, and the girl, she remembered, that's when the dudes in the car, they took off. So I was like, that was my thought too. When dude went back outside and I'm laying there, I thought, hold up, he's going to go get his boys. Like, oh no, I got to get out of this now. So I waited for him to come back. He had his suitcase, walked past me, got out of that, went around. Let's get this.
Lowe's, can I tell you what? I know I'm saying this on the show and what have you. But, you know, that kind of lifestyle, man, I that is not me on no level. There's nothing gangster about me at all. You know what I mean? Period. But you know what? This is the God's honest truth, man. And you know some of them, but it ain't nobody but God, to be honest with me. I've always been surrounded by killers.
Yes. I'm only a killer if you fuck with me.
I've always been surrounded by killers, man. Like, for real. I'm not talking about people who they got like a bad, attitude, or they may be mean or like to fight a lot or whatever. No, brother. I have always been surrounded by killers.
That's crazy.
And they are the most peaceful people you will ever meet in your life.
That's why I always say the opposite of me is a psychotic motherfucker.
Man.
You know,
man.
Like, fuck with me if you want to. Jeffrey Dahmer ain't got shit.
Man.
You know?
Man.
Yeah,
for real.
Crazy. Yeah, that's anybody out there. Anybody got some struggles out there that you want to deal with? Talk to us. Oh, yeah.
That's what it was.
They struggling to get on the phone or typing their fingers.
Man, the dude that crossed you, like I had dealt with betrayal in my life, really, really bad. And man, my dad Avery, he said, "Hey man, look," he started messing with me. He said, "Hey man, this is gangster laws." He said, "Hey man," he said, "I want you, like, when you look at this situation, I need you to start thinking like this." He said, "Man, when he was younger, him and Mama Avery, they had their own business in Chicago, early 1960s, late 1950s, and he had a friend that he was real tight with, and the dude had asked if he could borrow some money. So now at this time, Mom and Dad Avery, they're like entrepreneurs. They own their own, like storefronts or whatever. Like that's a lot of money back in the hood. You know what I mean? Like what they have, that's some good hood money at that time, man. So, like, almost lost my thought. Oh, so he was like, man, he had this friend that came to him, was like, man, this is early 1960s. He said, hey, man, you need to borrow some money. I think it was like $5,000. $5,000 in 1962, 1965 is a lot of money.
That was more than some people's yearly.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's what he's coming to borrow. That's what he's asking to borrow. That Avery's like, man, like, if you're going to borrow some money, borrow some real money. What the hell are you going to do with $5,000? That's Dad's thinking. But he said, but hey, that's what he asked for. Cool, I got it. Here. Get money. He said, Ron, man, I noticed when I didn't hear from him for about a good couple of weeks, I called him and I never could get him. And his wife would answer the phone and make some kind of excuse, he's not there, whatever. And Dad just called him like, hey man, I ain't seen X, Y, and Z or heard from whatever. I want to see how you doing, X, whatever. He said, Ron, he thought that I was calling because of the money when you was going to pay me back. He said, man, Ron, that wasn't the issue. I'm just calling, talking with you, no different than we normally would.
Right.
He said, man, Ron, the lesson that I learned was, like, as bad as that hurt me to have to deal with it with my friend, here's what I gained. He said, Ron, if the man had asked me for $25,000, I would have given him $25,000 as easily as I gave him the $5,000 that I gave him. I could have done that easily, but this is what he asked for. But if it took this to learn who you really are, I saved $20,000.
Right. Right. Sure enough. Because your ass was coming off some crooked shit to begin with.
Let it go. Let it go.
That's usually how I am. You borrow money from me.
Let it go.
You can even tell me when you're paying me back.
Let
if
it
you
go.
don't never come back, I'm never going to say shit to you.
Let it go.
Because one day you're going to come back for some more, and that's what I'm going to get you. You still owe me from last
Hey,
time.
man.
You know, so shit, you want that, get it. You know, don't get it. That's fucked up, though. A lot of people do that. I remember this one dude, we call him Red, brother with red head. He's real low hair, but it was red. I remember this one dude, he used to borrow $20 from all the time. After a while, I said, you know what, man? He's borrowing the same 20 over and over and over because he borrowed it from you now. Right. He gave you the money back, and then he borrowed it again. Right. So that $20 you started with, man, you done loaned this nigga like $500 by now, you know. Right. And he never, because as soon as you give it back, you get that nigga right back. You know, it's like, yeah. So I'm like, man, that's the same 20.
People that behave like that, they usually got addictions.
You know, his was his damn kids. Like that. He had so many damn kids. Yeah. You had to pay for that shit, but yeah. Other than that, I don't know if Fred was on that shit.
I mean, not to say times gonna get hard like that.
That's fucked up. It's like, you know what? If you're struggling, hey, I try to help you best I can, but you don't have to steal from me. Don't steal from me.
The whole point of the reason why I'm glad that you brought that up, bro, was because whether it's a situation like yourself, maybe it's a situation, I'm pretty sure the people in this room have their own story. You learned a lot about yourself because of that struggle.
Right.
And most of us, we really, when we go and have these ideas about wanting to go into business and make a lot of money, or wishing we hit the lotto, or what have you, so we wouldn't have to work anymore, or, we could live however we want to, live comfortably, no struggle, whatever. That's the part where most of us would lose meaning in our life. Because everything in your life is supplied for.
Right.
Everything. You can almost become hedonistic if you would. No struggle. There's this school of thinking that no struggle like that will actually corrode your inner man. Because the reason they say that is because every single thing on planet Earth to survive has to struggle. It has to struggle.
You gotta learn from that shit.
That's how you learn.
Get out of that struggle.
That's how you evolve.
No more. Yeah.
All too often we think about struggling in a really negative connotation.
Always about money.
Most often than not, it is.
Ain't got no money.
More often than not, it is. It's always monetarily related.
And you don't learn shit from that. But the same thing you should learn from that is like, if you always feeling so broke, why don't you do something better? Go to school, learn something, and get a better job.
And that's the part of the conversation where money's not your problem.
Right. It's not your problem.
That's not your problem.
You're lazy.
You need money. You have deeper problems.
You don't want to go get it, though.
That's prohibiting you. You know what I mean? But that's not the problem. But you have to think about it, man. Like, if right now, let's just say Jeff Bezos said, you know what, for the rest of my life, I don't want to work ever again. And he has the money where any reality he wants, he can bring it to pass. He's now in the space program and have been for some time now.
They want to own the moon.
But he has all the money in the world, so he doesn't have to worry about anything. You know what I mean?
Well, but we're going to see that smile on the moon one day.
Absolutely. One way or another. But when you have everything supplied to you in your life, if you don't struggle with something, you will not develop your potential. Because I don't know about you all, but when I think back on my life, my best moments in my life were also synonymously the darkest moments in my life. If you really think about it, but you still have this happy, fun memory when you think about it because you survived whatever it was that you was dealing with or whatever circumstances you was entangled up in. But when you look back on your life and you're like, hey man, I remember when I didn't have nothing. I remember when my daughter and I was eating out of, sardine cans, whatever the case may be. Like, I remember we was moving here or there trying to get a place to stay, going to Aunt Kathy's house, going to Granddaddy's house for a couple of days, whatever. But if you go look at and talk with them kids years later, they'll tell you those are some of the happiest times in their lives. So it's the same thing in reverse.
Right.
Dark times, you still got purpose.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying?
You
got purpose, you got struggle. But the way that they're selling it to us now, brother, it's like they're trying to minimize or make struggle, and they have to a great degree. They make it a negative.
Why keep you down, I guess.
They make it a negative.
Trying to keep you down. Fuck that. I'm gonna learn from all this shit. I get to a point where I'm at now where you're not gonna get too much past me, motherfucker. I know all the shit.
Exactly.
I might be happy go lucky, Mr. Travel Agent, wear a suit to work, but I know that side too, bro. Don't get it twisted.
Before that situation, were you paying that attention to detail?
I would, in certain, my OCD would always have me do that shit, but not as scoped in as that after that, some of the shit I've gone through in my life. Like, okay, fuck that.
So you went into a situation or a situation was brought upon you where you entered it one way, you came out another. That's the question. Okay. Under what circumstances could you have made that kind of growth other than the way it happened? Exactly.
No other way.
Exactly.
I would have known that if a motherfucker come in my crib and
exactly
rob me with a gun, that I would get out of this shit.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Or at least maybe get out of it, but all my shit robbed.
Okay. Okay. That has happened too.
You know?
And sometimes they didn't make it.
Right.
Let's make sure we stay on planet Earth.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, like you know more about yourself when at the drop of a dime, when danger hits, I will respond.
Right.
Your life is a testament to that. That struggle, right? How different is that when you have the warthog and the tiger runs up on him, digs him up out of it, grabs him out of his hole, pulls him out, eats him. You know what I mean?
Right.
The warthog wasn't expecting that. Some of them made it, some of them don't. It's their ability to respond to danger in real time.
Right at that moment. Like them damn gazelles and all that shit. They kind of know, like, man, something don't feel right. Oh shit, they're like, know it. And their reaction is, all I can do as a gazelle is run.
Yeah.
And hope I can outrun this motherfucker.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
all
run what you brung. You know what I mean? Do what you. I mean, like, mongooses, they'll kill a cobra.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like enough hyenas to take down a lion.
Sure enough.
There's always some. There's you always got that element of surprise.
Right.
That's in the natural animal kingdom.
Right.
If we're just different levels above that, but we're fundamentally that, you're gonna have the same situation. It's gonna look different.
Right.
But it's the same exact situation. You was in that situation.
Moment,
here's how it happened.
Motherfucker can run up on you with a gun. What you gonna do now?
I think struggle is beautiful. I do.
My dad one time
I think struggle is beautiful.
Had a dude try to jack him. He was on his way to work in the morning, had his hand down, and the dude come up and wanted to get his watch. And told him to get his wallet. But my dad, for the first time, wore a seatbelt because my dad never wore seatbelts. And he went to go, hang on. Somebody in a nicer car pulled up behind him. The dude ran back there.
Damn.
My dad was like, "Oh shit!" Like, and he even thought about it himself. He said, "Because my dad, like I said back in the day, you didn't have to wear seatbelts, so he was used to that. But that day, he learned that wearing your seatbelt saved your car and your watch this time around.
Right.
So he would always wear it ever since.
Right.
I was like, shit, that was funny to me. My dad, I don't think would have given a fuck. He probably try to fuck with him himself. My dad was a damn gangster motherfucker in his young age and shit. With bikes and shit. All his buddies were junkies and shit. He joined the military and got him and the other one. They got away from the rest of them. Either dead or in jail.
Yeah, man. Okay, yeah, absolutely. You don't welcome struggle because I don't like pain, but it is inevitable. I mean,
I didn't want to die. At least not right then.
like
Pain or not.
there are like, see, there's an. I know this is off subject, but we could talk about it if y'all interested in it one day. There's this notion that pain is the same exact state of mind as what you experience when you have an orgasm.
I know that's what they say. The same thing you experience.
It's
Pain
the
and
same
that.
energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going this way.
Right. I didn't know that from seeing shit in the brain.
No, well, yes, that part of it, but another way was this was before like you had like MRIs and that kind of CT scans or whatever. What they did, man, was they took a picture of this chick. Well, they took a couple of pictures. They showed these pictures to these dudes, and the picture was looking like a woman that was in excruciating pain. That same picture and that same look is the same exact look that that woman would have when she was having an orgasm.
That's crazy. The same look.
They found that to be consistent, whether it was Los, whether it was Run, whether it was Brother Hood, whether it was, our studio audience, whether it was whoever. If you look at us as a species, how we respond to pain, this is irrespective of culture, anything. This is just human. Sex, whatever, just be human. When under extreme duress, our physiological system becomes very hard to differentiate if we are in extreme pain or if we are in extreme pleasure.
Right.
That's deep. That's deep.
That's how I feel when I be picking them scabs.
You know what I mean?
Hurt like a motherfucker,
Yeah.
but it feels good all at the same time.
They be like, you know what? Now we understand why the masters from the East, like in Wudong and all of them, that's why like they can undergo a lot of different pain and not be affected by it, because the Buddhist mind is if you're caught in pain or pleasure, you're caught in the problem still. You have to go beyond it. And it's obvious that the two of them are just opposites of the same thing. Deep shit, man.
Right. Start thinking of it as pleasure.
It's pain. So now the question becomes, hey man, is pain simply a societal reality? It's a societal reality.
Right. That's deep. We'll have to do a show about that.
Hey
one
man,
day.
it's
Let us know if
interesting.
y'all want
It's
to see that.
interesting.
You want to hear that?
Yeah, pain versus pleasure. It's very
Pain
interesting.
versus pleasure.
You cannot tell the difference, man. You cannot tell the difference. But
Right.
yeah, man, I appreciate this conversation, man. You being so, honest with us and everything about, your own life and, some of the things you had to overcome, brother. Thank you so
That
much
shit
for
was
being
crazy.
real, man. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. I'll never forget that shit.
That's what it's all about, man. We also have some really good shows coming up. This Wednesday we have Danny Brown, my cousin from Cleveland,
right.
Ohio. He's going to continue the conversation that we had a couple of weeks back when we were talking about sisters and brothers, the black dynamic and the relationships and some of the problems of misunderstandings we have between each other. We're going to continue that conversation. And then also, I don't know, the week after that, I forgot what. I think that show is
No taboo or no
taboo.
Long
No
Live the
taboo.
Arts
No
this week.
taboo. No taboo along with the arts.
Right,
No.
yeah.
She'll be back. But yeah, next week we got all the episodes. They're listed. All the episodes listed. So go to the website and check us out. We would love to have you guys on the show. If you find this interesting, you find this worthy to support, come back on the show with us. I know some of you guys have, like Brother Dwight. We saw you, man. Thank you so much for coming out tonight, man.
Sure enough.
Man, thank you, brother from the
512.
512. Yeah, she was watching. Thank you so much, brother, for coming out and supporting us tonight, man. Also, you know, my mother and anyone else. Let's see, we got. Let's see what else we got. Well, and thank you. Oh, Kevin Jackson. Thank you so much, brother Kevin. Yeah, thank you so much. And then we got T. Marie. Thank you. We appreciate you. We really do. But look, y'all, I know we're a small thing, but you know, I think even the greatest beginnings start small. You know, and I think we're at that part in terms of our voyage as we began to make this podcast, you know, reach, you know, more people, not because we want to be famous, but because we want to reach other people. You know, we want to find more like us, the people that really value the atmosphere where, hey man, you know, let's have an honest conversation about something. Like you don't like
you get a chance to do that.
You know what I mean? You don't normally
might not do shit.
You know, you have to worry about how they judge you and all that kind of stuff. And not that we're above bias, not that we're not as a natural reflex, but we'll make sure that the environment that you're in, you have no reason to feel insecure or intimidated by us on no level. On no level at all. And all
those that's been here know that.
You know, they know exactly. They will tell you, man. So please, we would love for you all to come and enjoy this experience with us, and please support us any way that you can.
Come and hang out and
come and hang out with us. Talk with us. Argue with us. You know, call in. We'd love to hear from you. We really would. But
just don't struggle with my ass. I'll cut your ass up.
Yeah, man. But thank y'all again, Bobby. Good job on the cameras and the sound and everything, man. Thank you, brother Lowe's. You know, for the software and everything. Thank you, man. It's been a pleasure, brother. Looking forward to Wednesday.
Yeah, sure enough.
Absolutely. Anything you want to say, man, before we go?
Oh, no, I'm good. We're good.
All right.
Thank y'all. Much love. Enjoy the rest of your evening and tomorrow, too. I'll see you Wednesday, for sure.
Thank you for watching. Peace.
I'm Brother Los.
Brother Ron.
Brother Black on the camera is always back there making it look good and sound good. Brother Daily Smoke, and we're out.
Make it happen.
Peace.